Welcome to another short video called Anger is My Boundary. Um, Anger is a difficult emotion generally for people to feel, and yet, and a lot of psychology even says, well, it's not a healthy emotion, but it is. All emotions are healthy emotions. It just depends what we do with them, how we manage them. So anger is a really important emotion. And I got the phrase anger is my boundary from Julia Cameron's work, The Artist's Way, in her second book, Walking in This World. Really useful tagline, I think. Something I've used for years. So when I'm feeling anger, it's telling me there is a boundary issue that I need to address. I've either gone past myself in some way, overextended my boundary, or somebody has gone past my boundary and it feels invasive. And I need to address that. And that's what the anger is arising to tell me. So it's a very useful feeling. However difficult it might be. Now, there are different levels of anger. Boredom is the lowest level. Like a teenager that says, I'm bored. The thinking mind, if it's not being stimulated or entertained, this comes from mindfulness practice, says, I'm bored. It's a form of anger. And then, of course, the next level might be irritability. I feel a bit irritable, but, about a bit edgy. Or even then again, we might say frustration as we go up the pyramid and scale up the level. I'm frustrated, about things. I feel frustrated. There's a tension there. And then up again, we come into anger itself. I feel angry. I feel angry about things. And at the very top of the pyramid is rage. I'm rageful. I feel rage. And so it's useful to understand the different levels of anger from the very simple feeling of boredom all the way up to rage. And it's really important to allow ourselves to feel deeply this feeling because, again, in order to feel, the thinking is behind it for emotional intelligence, the depth of my feeling, my ability to feel deeply, and hence the quality of my life is related. So if I don't allow myself to feel anger all the way from boredom up to rage even, then I won't be able to feel love, for example, all the way up to its highest level because my ability, the depth of my feeling ability is stunted. So that's really important to be aware of and maybe a motivator. Uh, so, of course, anger begins in the gut, and we're talking about gut intelligence, GQ, which isn't something you hear very often. So it's instinctual in certain situations. The anger, can be triggered. The energy of anger, it can be triggered from as a gut response. So the adrenaline comes right up and boom, we're on in many ways. And so when we talk about gut intelligence, we talk about fight or flight, we talk about freeze, we talk about fawn. There are different aspects to our gut response in many ways, or flow, even the energy to flow. And and I suppose, that's another teaching. But really, it starts down here, the adrenaline kicks in, and then it can become an emotion where we feel the emotion of anger if we allow ourselves to feel it. And of course, it kicks off certain areas in the brain, and obviously it impacts the animistic brain because that's where it's arising from the gut, comes right into the animistic brain, and boom, the anger comes up. And mature emotional intelligence, means that we're able to contain the anger. No matter what level it goes to, we're able to recognize it, name it, contain it. Yes, manage it. If I suppress the anger, if I push it down, if I don't allow myself to feel it, then it unfortunately has negative effects. It becomes apathy. I don't care. I have no energy. I feel tired all the time. That's pushing the energy of the anger back down into the gut again, which can lead to anxiety. Interestingly enough, can lead to anxiety. If anybody ever suffers from anxiety, this is a big part of it. And of course, it can lead to other things. If I keep pushing the anger down, it can lead to physical problems in the body, IBS issues in the gut. It can lead to, even worse illnesses, and arthritis, all sorts of problems, physical problems. And also then, in more extreme sense, it can lead to apathy, as we said, anxiety, and even then depression and despair, hopelessness, even depression and despair, So not a good place to end up. And of course, the other extreme is that if I let the energy of the anger arise in me without containing and controlling it, I can become violent. It becomes violent and aggressive, and I can be destructive. So that's no good either. Nobody wants violence and destruction and aggression. That's the other extreme. So there's two extremes, to how we manage or don't manage our anger. And really it's about containing it. It's so important to feel it, to feel all the way through it, to keep feeling it, to keep allowing it to arise. And then to pay attention to what it wants to tell us. What's it telling me? What is my where am I? What is my boundary that I need to address in a healthy way? What is it? How can I use the energy of the anger for clarity, to cut through the bullshit, or to, defend, or to, pull myself back if I've overextended, back into a healthy boundary. And the thing about healthy boundaries are, this is my boundary here, for example. This is my boundary. If if my boundaries here, so many people I meet, their boundaries here. So if they're upset by something, they close their heart. And I'm like, well, that's not good for you. It's like resentment, another type of anger. What do they say with resentment? It's like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. And it's the same thing. We need to push our boundary out so that our heart is open. Even if we're feeling angry, our heart is still open and available to ourselves. Yes. You can keep whoever you want out here of the boundary. So we push our boundary out, then we relax, we open our heart, we can be connected into our heart, loving kindness here, but the boundaries out here, and that's what the anger allows. Strong boundaries out here, soft on the inside, if necessary. And of course, boundaries are malleable. Can't even say that word. We can decide, depending on the person or the situation, where we want our boundary to be. We can let people in, we can bring them out, and that takes a little bit of getting used to and practice. So thanks for listening today. This is my anger is my boundary tagline. That's something I keep in my mind, in the back of my mind all the time when I'm faced with anger or conflict situations. Starting off, I wasn't good with anger growing up, and I had to learn the hard way. Now I'm a lot better, I have to say. Anger is my friend. It tells me something. It informs me. I now manage and control my anger in a positive, healthy way, and it gives me what I need. So I hope it can do the same for you. Thank you. Blessings on your day.